Stocktwits Nation, we're back at the Gateway Conference. I'm here with Gavin Burnett, CEO of Locafy. Gavin, thanks so much for stopping by. I know you had a busy day.
Very busy day. I was in the neighborhood, so why not pop in?
You have to do it. And it's so good that people like you are at the conference talking to institutional investors, and then, of course, popping by to speak with us. Really excited to talk to you today about your business, because it's one of these terms that if you're outside of the marketing world, it might seem intimidating. But for our retail investors at home, local search optimization, helping brands get discovered online. Tell us a little bit about the challenge you're solving for and how Locafy addresses it.
Yeah, sure. Well, SEO, there's a lot of mystery around it, and there's a lot of misinformation around it as well. So what we've done is basically we've spent years of testing and development to know what the search engines are really looking for. And it's a surprisingly small number of things. And we bake that all into our technology, so make it easy for our clients. So when we deliver our search engine optimization products to local customers, it's at a much cheaper is the wrong word. It's much more cost effective, and it works a lot quicker than alternative solutions.
And you're serving long tail of businesses, so small businesses primarily, or what types of clients or customers are using Locafy?
Well, there's quite a range, but our focus going forward is really dealing with media agencies that have small business customers and local businesses. The market opportunity there is immense. Around 50% or close to 50% of all searches that are conducted are for local products or services, and those people are looking for something here and now, and they want it like now. So when somebody does a local search, 90% plus of those people will either call or click for directions or click on the website. So those people are looking to do a transaction. So we figure we can deliver a solution to that target market in a very cost-effective and scalable way. So it makes sense. It's a win-win. They win, they get much better prominence. We win, more customers.
And so it's a SaaS platform, and so the business model, their subscriptions, or how does the economics of it work?
Yes, it's a subscription-based model. So our core product is called Localizer, and it does what it says. It includes listings on the major directories and search engines and social media platforms. There's an AI-ready landing page, which helps customers get found in AI search as well. And then, of course, we've got a map boosting solution, which Google Maps is a very important tool for businesses, because most website traffic locally at least goes through the maps. And if you're not in the top 3, you're missing out on a lot of traffic. So that's what we do. We put those small business customers into the top of maps for the keywords that matter for them.
You covered some nuances there that I think are important in the context of the broader conversations around search marketing and LLMs. The first piece was you alluded to platforms beyond Google and what people would perceive as search engines. There's directories. There's other places online to get discovered. How important is it that you're in all of those specific places, in addition to just the major search engines that people are using?
It's more important than people think. So the search engines are looking at consistency. So is your business, does it know who you are? So if you can think about it, if you're a business and you've got your name in different directories under slightly different dashes, or represented differently, or you've got different addresses, or you've got a mobile number somewhere and a landline another, how does the search engine know who you are? So it's really important to have consistency in information. You're not necessarily going to get a lot of clicks or a lot of business or calls from any directories. That's really not what they're there for. We might get some, but they're really there, from our perspective anyway, they help you with prominence and consistency in information. So they are important, but probably not for the reasons that most people think.
Yeah, it is interesting. There's layers to it, right? There's places you want to be listed online in order to be seen somewhere else where someone might transact. And you talked a little bit about AI. Obviously been a hot topic. A lot of people in the investment community talking about impact on Google. But I think what's interesting about you guys is your focus on local search, because it feels like, to this point at least, the behavior of doing a local search, laundromat near my apartment, that might not be something in the interim, at least, that's going to be done in a Claude or a GPT, right? That's still very much a search behavior.
That's correct. Yeah, the vast bulk of search is still through Google. ChatGPT, though, now has around 8% market share, so we can't dismiss it. The good news, though, is that if you get your SEO right, then you will appear in those search engines, the AI search engines. We know that for a fact. So we can show dozens and dozens of examples where the AI search engines are drawing on the Google search results. So with our solution, you only need to get it right for SEO, and AI comes along with it. At no extra cost or expense, or you don't have to do anything different.
We had a guest on our morning show a couple of weeks ago talking about how he'd been speaking with a researcher saying how the LLMs have hundreds of search queries tapping in for any given prompt. And so at the end of the day, they are relying on some of the places that you're looking to get your clients listed.
It's very funny. Like they talk to, I won't name the particular AI search engine, but I just had a chat to it one day and said, well, how can I be confident that your map results are accurate? Go, well, we use Google Maps as a source of information. I go, oh, there you go.
Yeah.
So
it's a pretty interesting conundrum when you have people saying they're going to kill Google, but Google and some of these other places are powering them in many ways.
They're connected. Yeah, absolutely. I don't see Google going away anytime soon, but there's a lot of people that do like chat. And the reason we think is that it's more engaging. So in search engines, you just tend to put in keywords. Go fetch. Right? Whereas with chat or Grok or whomever, you tend to treat it like a person and you have a conversation that's more interactive. So by the time people get to the website, which they do ultimately direct you to, then you felt like you're at this place you want to be because you've had more interaction with the engine. So that's what we think. But good news is we cover customers for both without having to do any extra work.
And let's talk about customers and go-to-market. You mentioned agencies, which are important intermediaries. One agency could bring 100 subscriptions. Is the go-to-market strategy focusing on these larger agencies, holding companies, and going that way? Or is it also about getting in front of the actual local businesses with marketing of your services?
We've tried both over the journey, and I believe the smartest, most cost-effective and efficient way to go is work with the agencies. They have the relationships with customers. But we also bring some extra grunt to the table as well, which we put out in the release this morning. Instead of having a sales team, we've now got an AI Salesforce, which effectively replaces call centers. And the proof's in the pudding. So we've done our first trial of that. Cold outreach to 900 agencies, 200 engaged. We've got 25 bookings directly into our calendar. And all of those people are currently engaged with us in some form, POCs or whatever. So the conversion rate was very, very high from a cold outreach. The other thing we bring to the table is through the directories that we own, like Hot Frog and so forth. Over the years, we've built up a very large database of businesses or business listings. In America, we have 9.4 million business listings that we have the ability to market directly to. So the extra benefit of an agency working with us is that we will deliver leads to them from our own database. It means they're going to look after the customer better. They're in location in the same time zone, and we just take care of the technology. So it's a win-win.
So the AI-powered Salesforce, would you ever productize that and sell it as an adjacent product, or is this just an in-house tool that has
Space.
Okay, interesting. And then in terms of your journey as a company, revenue's coming in now, but it's small compared to some of the other people we've talked to today. Paint the picture of the addressable market. I mean, it's hard for people to think what do local businesses spend on this kind of thing, agencies. How big do you see this opportunity?
I think it's the biggest opportunity in front of us. So in America, our database of digital agencies is about 55,000. That's sizable. They're going to have a lot of clients. Let's call it, even if they average 50, that's a lot of customers. For every 1,000 customers that we bring on, that's $690 a month for the product, which is incredibly cost effective. We're talking, what's 7 times 12? That's $8 million a year in revenue. So you can kind of draw a conclusion from the size database we have. So we'll be calibrating that over the next few months to understand what the take-up rates are when we go direct to market, when we do target our customer base and send it on to our partners. So I'm very excited about that, because even if we do half as well as what we just did in the first trial, it's going to be we think a decent number.
And then is there at some point opportunity on data monetization? It seems like you have a lot of interesting, at least, data on local businesses, trends within where people are searching. Is that of interest to anyone who might want to use that data, aggregate and anonymous, to build other businesses? Has that ever been brought up or considered?
You should join our team. That's a really good idea.
Oh,
no, we hadn't thought of that. But I think as long as we don't disclose confidential information and we're just talking about trends in general, then that would probably be fine.
I think about in the US, the Foursquare example, they were a consumer app and now no one knows they're around because people aren't using them, but actually it's a nice little business selling to other businesses. Let's talk 5-year outlook. I know there's some buzz around you guys. I think today you were trending on Stocktwits. So you're on the radar. People are curious about you, which is, step one, especially with retail investors, just getting them to know who you are. But for someone who's just learning the story, wanting to understand 5 years from now, where do you want this business to be? I know that could change. You live and die on what the platforms are doing and you're always evolving, but where do you want it to be in 5 years?
I want it to be the #1 location-based digital marketing solution, which we believe we've got the opportunity to do. We haven't seen anybody else do this, certainly not as quickly. We're delivering results in 30 and 60 days that, in the maps and in the landing pages that typically would take 12 months for traditional SEO techniques. Oh. And the reason for that is that, with the greatest of respect to the SEO industry, there's a lot of people that just don't really know what SEO is. It's nothing to do with content. Sorry, content creators. Content is essential for engagement, has very little to do with ranking. Yeah, there's the technical and there's different components of that. Yep. Within, I guess, days like today, you've had a lot of conversations, I'm sure, with investors here on the ground. To wrap things up, key message to investors. What are you telling people here on the ground at the Gateway Conference? What do you want the enduring message to be about Locafy and where you're taking this business? I guess just keep a close eye on us over the next coming weeks and months. You'll see us being more aggressive in the market on a few fronts. We are actively looking in the M&A space as well. And also, we're really focused on entering the US market with our AI sales team, engaging with good quality agencies. We're not just allowing any agency that does not meant to sound elitist. We want customer partners who are going to look after clients. Because they're the ones that we're sending our leads to. So watch this space in terms of that growth, and we'll be keeping the market informed. Okay, I'm intrigued. That was Gavin Burnett, CEO of Locafy. Gavin, thank you for stopping by today here at the Gateway Conference. My pleasure. Thank you for your time, Katie.